Well, I wish I had better news as we start a Thursday, January 19th edition of the Lowdown, but I do not. In case you missed it last night, Ohio State basketball at Nebraska, 63-60, Cornhuskers. Yeah, a team that had lost 3 out of 4 adds to Ohio State's misery in basketball. The losing streak is now up to 5. You got to really seriously question whether Ohio State can possibly get into the NCAA tournament at this point because Saturday, Iowa's coming to Columbus. Iowa, one of the top 5 teams in the Big Ten. Iowa, which scores 82 points a game. Ohio State can't score to save its life. Where has that efficient offense from the early season gone? Don't know. But bad teams are beating Ohio State. Minnesota, Maryland, Nebraska, yikes. And now Iowa's coming in. And then, after that, Ohio State goes to Illinois, which has lost at home once all year. And then Ohio State goes to Indiana, which itself is struggling and would dearly love to put a big black eye on the Buckeyes at the end of the month. So it is not pretty. And the strategy last night at the end of the game was not pretty either. Ohio State had to foul late. They targeted who they wanted to foul. The only problem was they had Bryce Sensabaugh foul the guy, and Bryce Sensabaugh already had 4 fouls. So if you need a 3-pointer to tie the game or win the game, you probably want Bryce Sensabaugh taking it, and the rules don't allow him to take it from the bench. So Ohio State, curious endgame strategy, as was the case at the end of the North Carolina loss in Madison Square Garden. We thought that might invigorate the Buckeyes. No, they have been in a funk ever since. They are now 2-8. They are now 13th in a 14-team Big Ten. So it continues to get worse. Okay, enough of that mess. Let's get to something that we can look forward to, and that is high school basketball. What a weekend we have for you at PressProsMagazine.com, where the content is always free. You never pay for it. Do you know a newspaper where that's the case? No. Do you know a newspaper where they take big, splashy, awesome photos of your favorite players and surround it with 1,000 words of narrative writing? No, you don't. So nobody devotes more space and has more quality people on the photography side, on the writing side, covering high school sports and college sports, Ohio State and Dayton, than PressProsMagazine.com. And all of our content is always free. Okay, so Friday night, huge matchup in the OCC girls. We have got Olentangy Liberty at Dublin Kaufman. Liberty is 12-1. Kaufman is 11-2. Liberty's one loss came to Kaufman in the season opener by 2. So watch out for that one. Our Steve Blackledge will be there. Also Friday night, Olentangy Berlin, 11-3 at home against cross-district rival Olentangy. You say, why are you covering a matchup in the OCC Cardinal of the first-place team and the last-place team? I'll tell you why. Because Olentangy has been getting increasingly better, and they lost this matchup by 5 in the season opener. And Berlin might think this is going to be a layup, so we thought it'd be a good game to cover. And we will be there with Dave Purpura covering it for PressProsMagazine.com. What about in Western Ohio, where we began 13 years ago and have flourished ever since? Okay, Friday night, we have got a monster matchup in the Shelby County League. First place Jackson Center taking on Carter Plyman and the Botkins Trojans. Okay, what about Botkins on Tuesday night? Botkins took on Russia. That was a knockdown, drag-out affair. Hayden Quinter and Carter Plyman putting on a show. Botkins, don't sleep on him. Botkins has a lot of talent, and Botkins has played a super tough schedule. They played 5 of the top 15 teams in the state in Division IV, and I think they are one of the top 15 teams in the state, although at this juncture, everybody's rated according to record. So I wouldn't want to play Botkins in the postseason, and I'm sure Scott Elkert in Jackson Center is giving Botkins eminent respect because Carter Plyman can beat you all by himself, but he doesn't have to because Botkins has other talent around him. Also on Saturday, we have the rematch on Friday, we have a rematch of last Saturday's game between Piqua and Tip. This time it's at Tip, and Piqua did not show very well at all in a Saturday matinee last weekend in a game that had been postponed by the weather. So watch out for the Piqua Indians going into Tip. Those are 2 of the top teams in the MVL. Will we be covering a MAC game this week? Yes, of course. We'll be covering a MAC game. And we look forward to Friday night in the TRC where I'll see, going back to my old stomping grounds in Troy, Ohio, Troy Christian taking on Milton Union. That's a big one in the TRC. So a lot on the plate. For those of you who love PressProsMagazine.com, tell your friends about it. Follow us on Instagram at PressProsMagazine. Follow us on Twitter at PressProsMag. Follow us on Facebook. Share our content. We appreciate that very much. Our Instagram account is growing, and we invite you to interact with our Instagram administrator. And we look forward to some exciting announcements coming soon about the site, about our growth, and about our engagement. Thanks to you who have plugged in and are really learning a lot more about what we do, as we are now in year 3 here in Central Ohio. So thank you so much for watching the Lowdown. Share this with your friends. Tell your friends about PressProsMagazine.com, because we are flourishing, and we are flourishing because of you. And we certainly are sad to hear about the folding of This Week newspapers, because we like to see high school athletes get the accolades that they are due. We feel very bad for the staff and the guys and the women at This Week newspapers, but we had nothing to do with that. We have to do what we do. We do it well. We feature games every week. We're not a newspaper. We don't cover every game. Why would we emulate newspapers when they're going out of business left and right? No, we're not going to do that. We have a business model that works, and we are excited about our future at PressProsMagazine.com, in part because we are partners with great sponsors like our friends at Lehman's Hardware and Old Time General Store. I'm going to put on the crawl how you can win a $50 gift card to Lehman's. We give one away every month. They're outstanding people. Their inventory at their store is unmatched. You will not find any place, I mean this, any place where they have the varied inventory of Lehman's. Cooking store, toy store, antique store, tech store, dry goods store, snack store, cafeteria, cafe inside, fudge, sweets. Don't miss the wood carving room. You've never seen a wood carving room like this. Trust me, 3D wood carvings, they are not for sale. They are to be admired, and man, you could spend an hour in there looking at all the detail in the wood carving room at Lehman's. You say, a wood carving room? What is that? Well, you got to go to see it. And that's on Kidron Road in Kidron, Ohio, 4 miles off Route 30, about an hour and a half from Columbus. But, say, I don't have time to go right now. Yes, you do, because you can go to their website, Lehmans, LEHMANS.com, and shop online. And when you do that, shop online, use the promo code PressPros15, PressPros15. That'll get you 15% off at our friends at Lehman's Hardware and Old Time General Store. But build into your schedule a day trip, because it is absolutely, positively worth it. So with that, I bid you adieu on a Thursday, January the 19th. Still reeling from some of those strategic decisions last night. Strategic. In the Ohio State loss to Nebraska. But hey, keep the faith. Maybe things will change on Saturday against crazy Fran McCaffrey and the Iowa Hawkeyes. But in the meantime, we got a lot of high school athletes to cover, and we can't wait to do it. We'll see you out and about at the games you care about. Thanks for watching the Lowdown on PressProsMagazine.com.